In this lecture, we'll continue our discussion on the period method. Hello everyone, and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll continue our discussion on the period method. In the previous lecture, we checked if a given timestamp falls within a given time period, and that period was a monthly period. We can also check if a given timestamp falls within a daily time period. Let's see an example. Let's create a new period and we'll save it in a variable called period. So pd.period, and then let's say 12/25/2016. So that's our period. So if we call our period object, we have a daily period. Okay, now let's create a timestamp object and we'll save it in a variable called time. Say pd.timestamp, and let's pass December 25th 2016. Okay, now if we call our time object, we have a timestamp 12/25/2016, and if we copy this, what do you think we'll get? This will be false, right? That's because our timestamp object does not fall within our period's start time and end time. Why is that? So if we call our period's start time object, start time method, pd.startTime, we have, so that our time period starts on 12/25/000000, right? So if we check if this is less than time, it will be false since our timestamp is the same as our period's start time. This part is false. That's why this entire statement is false, right? However, if you check the last part here, let me copy it, paste it here, this part is true. So you gotta be careful when you are comparing, or if you are when you are checking if your timestamp is within a given time period. Okay, another thing we can do is, let's create this timestamp object and pass some time. So we'll add a timestamp of, let's say, 22/11/12. Okay, this time we have added our own timestamp. So if we call our timestamp object, we have December 25th 2016, and the timestamp we passed 22/11/12. Now if we check if this timestamp falls within our time period, it will be true. So let me copy that, paste it here, and run it. Now we have true. That's because now our period's start time is what? So period.start time, it will be December 25th 000, right? That's our start time, which is less than our timestamp, which is 22/11, and 22/11 is less than our period's end time, which is 23.599. Let me copy this and show you. So if we call our periods end time, we have 23.59.5999, right? So this timestamp is less than our periods in the time. We can also generate a range of periods by calling the period range method. Let's see that next. So the method name is called period underscore range, and it will allow us to generate a range of periods. Let's see an example. So pd.period range. So we'll call the period range function, and let's pass a day. Let's pass a date, 2016. Let's say 12/12, and let's pass some timestamp. Let's say 12/25. Okay, so we'll have our start date, and let's pass a frequency of, let's see, hour. Frequency H is for hour, and then let's pass number of periods. Let's set it to 15. So if we run this, we have a range of periods. So our period starts from 12/12/2016. You see here we passed 12/25, but it defaults to 12/00. That's because we passed a frequency of hour. I'll show you how we can maintain this. Okay, for this example, since we passed a frequency of hours, it starts from 12/00, and then we have 15 periods. We specified 15 for periods. So for our second period, we have 12/12/2016, hour is 13, so plus 1 hour, 14, and it goes on until we get 15 date periods, right? 15 time periods. And here we see that we have used the frequency of hour. So for frequency, if you use H for hour, it will round and start your hour from, in this example, 12. Okay, let's see some more examples. So this time, if you want to maintain your period to start from 12/25, instead of hour, we'll pass 60t. So for frequency, 60t. This will preserve this timestamp 12/25. So when we run this, now we have a range of periods starting from December 12, 2016 at 12/25 and ending at December 13th, 2016 at 2:25. So frequency is 60t. So this preserves your timestamp, your minutes. Let's see some more examples. For this example, let's pass a frequency of 28 hours. So now if we run this, so again it will start from 12/00 since we passed frequency as hour, and then it will add 28 to our timestamp. So 28 hours, that's 1 day and 4 hours basically, right? So December 12th plus 1 day will be what? December 13th, and you have 4 hours, so making it 12 plus 4, 16, and then you add 1 day to this period, that will make it December 14th. So 1 day means 24 hours plus 4 hours, and when you add 4 hours to 16, you have 20. So it will keep on adding 28 hours until you get a period of 15, right? Now we have a range of periods, 15 in total. So this is how we can generate a range of periods by using the period range function. Just to summarize what we have learned in this lecture, we saw how we could create a time period by calling the period method, and we can create a time period and default it to a monthly period or a day period, a minute or seconds period, and our period object has a start time and end time properties, and by calling the start time and end time methods on our period object, we can check if a given timestamp falls within the given. And finally, we looked at how we can generate a range of periods by using the period range function.